Hey guys, before we start this entry for Misfortune Legacy, I wanted to give you an update on the house rules. I went to a new system as I discovered a new one to try, and that's called Maze Rats. This one is fantastic. I really do enjoy it. So I do apologize for the sudden change again because the last episode was the Karen RPG system set, but I'm actually using Maze Rats for this one. So this is the new character sheet that I have Reglor adapted to. If you want to get a little peek through here, pause the video. These are basically his new stats. I try to keep everything the same as close as possible from the prior the Karen character sheet, but obviously he is level 2. There are the items and weapons. There's the ability scores essentially, level, his appearance and demeanor, and some his attack bonus, armor, health, max health. So that's the character sheet. I just wanted to show you guys on the screen before we start. Okay, so with the house rules out of the way, let's go ahead and start with chapter 34. I'll be doing these as vlogs now, so pretty much like a journal, a solo journaling RPG in a way. So where we left off, we were basically looking for the bandits who escaped from earlier. We begin venturing south from the market looking for the bandits. I am going to be talking in first person as Bregor. I'm walking south to the main road of Terran, passing a few villagers talking amongst themselves. I asked them if they saw a bandit run by here. Then I asked the Oracle, did they see the bandits? Yes, they did. The villagers saw them running south, saw the bandit running south. I asked the Oracle, was he leaving town? That's a no, which means to me the bandit is still somewhere nearby. So the villagers say they didn't see him leave town, though, possibly hiding in the alleyways. So I continue walking south. I asked the Oracle, are there any alleyways near the village walls, as I'm pretty close to the tip of town? And yes, there are two alleys. I approach the main entrance of the village, and I asked the Oracle, is there anybody around the immediate area? It was a 50-50, so possibly. I threw in there that I heard a noise, so I hear a noise. Footsteps, I asked the Oracle, and that's a yes, in one of the alleyways. Well, I pull my daggers out. I enter the first alleyway where I think I heard the footsteps. I ask the Oracle again, do I still hear the footsteps? And that's a no. I pause, noticing the footsteps stopped. The alleyway is a little darker, because of the surrounding structures. It's a pretty tight alleyway with like two-story homes surrounding, but it is morning hours, so it's not completely dark. I ask the Oracle if there are any crates or any obstructions in the alleyway, and that's a no. It's pretty clean. The alleyway is clear of obstructions, but turns further down. So continuing down the alley, there's a slight turn to the right. I attempt to sneak to the end of the alleyway, expecting the bandit just to be around the corner. That's just, my hunch. So what I do is a dexterity roll. I believe I did it right. In Maze Rats, you have to, if it's a risky action, I think it's a danger roll. And you have to, let me check the rules here, actually, what it's officially called. Yeah, it's a danger roll. So you have to roll a 10 or higher. It's a pretty difficult task. That's why it's not really recommended to do as often. But I did it anyway, and I did roll a 7, so that's a fail. It's a 2d6 game, by the way, and it's a fail. And narratively, I had to compound that into the bandit sees me. So I asked the Oracle, does the bandit see me? That's a yes. There's a follow-up question to my failed roll. The bandit coincidentally peeks around the corner and sees me. So I'm just standing there, and I see the bandit, and then he runs off. He bolts. So I chase after the bandit, circling the corner, and I do have a little string of Oracle questions here to kind of set up the scene as far as this alleyway that I'm running into. Does the alley continue through more buildings? So that's a yes. Is it narrow? No. So it kind of widens up a little bit. Does it have any obstructions? Still clean. The alley widens to the east of the village, so we're actually going east this time. Am I catching up to the bandwidth? This bandit. This was just a straight up work question. This wasn't like a roll of sorts. And that's a yes. So I see the bandit's not too fit for running. So he's relatively worn out, tired. So I attempt a risky move. I attempt to dive and tackle him from behind, grabbing whatever I can, his feet or his back, just a straight up football tackle. And this was a dexterity check, so and I rolled an 11, which is a success. I dive and tackle the bandit from behind to hold him down. I I tell him, "Where do you think you're going?" I ask the Oracle, "Does he attempt to break free?" Yes. He attempts to break free. So what I did here, I don't know if it's kind of a house roll adjustment, but I rolled against another character technically. So I both rolled two. I rolled 46s, two for me, two for the character, two for the bandits. Mine was 11, bandits was 8, so mine was successful. That might be a house roll, but that kind of makes sense because one character is trying to roll against me. I grab his arms behind his back and slam him against the wall. I said, "Not so fast, bandits." I'm kind of acting like a guard right here. I feel really, I feel like I'm like I now with the Rolling Alliance in a way. I asked the Oracle if there's anything nearby I can knock him out or tie him up with. No. It's again, these alleyways are pretty clear for some reason. I don't see anything to tie him up or knock him out with. I pull my dagger out and threaten him. I say, "You make a move and your blood will color these walls." Got it? So you make a move and your blood will color these walls. Got it? And I ask the Oracle, does he listen? He says yes. He stops moving, nodding in panic. I take him back out of the alleyway. We enter the main road. I ask the Oracle, do I see the same villagers from earlier? Yes. The villagers from earlier see me dragging the bandit out of the alley with blood covering his head. So I did slam him against the wall, so he does kind of have some blood on his face, though not coming from his head, just kind of on like a bruise on his left side of the face, whichever side of the face I slam him on. They take a step back and appear disgusted just because of the blood. I acknowledge them and walk back to the center of the market with the bandit. Does the bandit remain calm? I ask the Oracle, and that's a yes. I tell him you're doing just fine. As a Now for me, this is a more of an internal thought process. I said as more of an internal thought. As a former thief, I obviously know where the guard's house is near the center quarter of the village. So because it's a village, I'm guessing the only guard in town, village town. I I've been interchanging that a lot. I do apologize, but I imagine that the guard has kind of an adjacent cell for like me, former criminal or someone who's causing trouble. Obviously, I'm thinking Gregor's thinking that he has the other bandit, the main guy, locked up. So I push the bandit past the center market square. I asked the Oracle, do any other villagers see my activity? And it's a yes. I noticed a lot of villagers are seeing me push the bandit. Many of them look pleased or relieved because they see I caught the other bandit that they all saw earlier within the scuffle. And then so I approach Henrik, the village guard, his house, which has a small jail cell adjacent to it. I asked the Oracle, was Henrik home? Most likely he was, so that's a yes. Does the bandit say anything? No, he's quiet, looking down. Uh, Surprising the bandit's quiet, just from what I typed in here. I knock on the door. Moments later, the guard answers. He sees me, the bandit captured. I ask the Oracle, does he have a surprised look on his face? And that's a yes. He is rather surprised. I tell him, found the runner. The guard smiles and laughs. Well, 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 look at this. The guard grabs the bandit by the shoulder. I tell the guard his arms aren't tied because I obviously don't have any rope. Um, I don't recall if I had rope in the last episode. That's my mistake if I didn't carry that over. The guard. I have an oracle question. Does the guard have any leather straps or rope nearby? That's a no. The guard says his only pair is being used with the other bandit in the cell right now. I ask the guard if he has any in the back. I ask the oracle, does the guard have a shack or something in the back? And that's a yes. He remembers now they may have some rope. I tell him to hold the bandit while he gets it, or while I get it. I think I kind of messed up here. I tell the guard, oh, I'm sorry. No, I was right. I tell the guard, I will hold the bandit while he gets it. I ask the oracle, does the bandit agree, or does the guard agree? I rolled a 50-50. The guard seems hesitant, which is kind of odd, but that's just what I rolled. I tell him not to worry. I'll keep watch on the bandits, on this bastard. The guard leaves for a minute. I asked the oracle, does the bandit try anything? And I rolled a no. The bandit is winded. He's just kind of exhausted, looking down, not really saying much, still kind of bruised, bleeding. The guard returns to some rope and ties the bandit's hands together. I asked the guard if he has room for this one. I asked the oracle, does the guard have any room? That's a no. So the guard shakes his head while thinking of an alternative. He's like doing this. He's like, no, looking around. I mentioned the guard the time that I was detained and picked up by the King's Guard from the capital a few weeks ago. I asked the oracle a question. Does he remember that? He doesn't recall. So that it was a light no. It wasn't like a solid no. He thinks for a moment but doesn't remember that exact moment. He has a sly remark about how I was arrested often, so I was a frequent customer of his. I sigh and ask him how can we get a hold of the King's Guard to pick up these two. The guard mentioned he would send a messenger to the Royal Alliance. I asked the guard if there's another place to put this bandit until then, and I asked the oracle, does the guard have another place in mind? And that's a yes. He thinks of keeping him in the shack in the back. Uh, it has an outside lock. I say good, and I hand the bandit to him. I tell him that I'm done here. Does the guard thank me? He says, and that's a yes. That was an oracle question. The guard smiles and thanks me for the help with a reassuring nod. I smile and pat his back. Anytime, my friend, kind of sarcastically. I turn around and leave, and I go back to the town square. I check the sky for the sun's position, checking the time of day. It's almost noon, probably. I asked the oracle, is it almost noon or like late morning? And that's a yes. So I think it's probably too early to go check with the old man on the spear. So I decided to go to a local baker to buy some food because I know my pantry is pretty empty. And I asked the oracle, is there a bakery nearby the other stores where I am? And that's a yes. I walk down to the local baker. I see a sign in the corner of the market square that says Martha Crust. I walk up to the entrance of the bakery. I ask the oracle, is it open? There's a strong yes. I enter the bakery. I smell freshly baked bread, pastries, spices, etc. A couple of oracle questions here. Is the bakery busy? And I rolled a no, so it's not too busy to a few villagers. Is the owner at the counter? And that's a strong yes. So it's just an older lady behind the counter. I walk up to the counter and speak to the owner. I ask the oracle, do I know the owner? And it's yes, but casually, just kind of acquaintance. I've been shopping here for, X amount of years or X amount of time, however long I lived at this village. I say, morning, Miss Martha. Does she acknowledge me? I ask the oracle. Yes. She smiles. Hello, Breglar. Can I get you? Old lady voice. I look at the freshly baked bread behind her and her food items on display, various items. I say, I would like some loaf of bread, dozen rolls, pie, some biscuits too, and please. And then, because things have been kind of tame lately, I throw in a eventful question. I say, at this time, does anything happen? And I rolled a 50-50. So, something not too eventful, like, hysteria or chaos, but like more like a modest, a weak yes. Something that can build up to something else. So I have a strange feeling of unease as I look back at the shop door. Just a strange feeling. And I ask the oracle, do I see anything unusual? Yes. Not a strong yes, but a yes. The door slowly opens ajar, revealing a tall, strangely hooded figure. The figure is holding a familiar staff. I turn around while Miss Martha kind of curiously looks over my shoulder to see who is at the door. Because I turn around and Miss Martha's like looking like kind of short old lady, looking behind kind of comically. I ask the oracle, does the hooded figure uh, do? Oh, sorry. Does the hooded figure reveal themselves? That's a very strong yes. The figure takes off their hood to reveal, and that is a cliffhanger. So that's chapter entry 34. And in my opinion, I thought, especially with maze rats, because this did have some mechanic rolls with the 2d6s. I had a plethora of oracle questions, and much like the last episode, I was 80 plus, so I was up to 91 entries in the list. Granted, I do kind of have a tendency to type a lot, but I did really enjoy this episode, and I still like doing this post recap style compared to like recording while I'm kind of struggling to play or like thinking. I pause for a moment. I do like doing this because I play RPG music in the background. I just get lost in the world. I roll the dice. I look at the rolls. I have my character sheet open. I have my campaign notes open. I have my journal open. I type away, and I do kind of prefer that. And then I record this guys for you. I record this for you guys. um, to basically recap what happened. So, and I hope you guys do enjoy this format. If not, feel free to leave in the comments. But for now, I'm comfortable with this so far. And I do apologize again about the rules change, but I'm constantly looking through new rules, and that might be an issue to some people. Could be a problem. It could be problematic, but especially for the theme. But Maze Rats, I felt, was a little more superior in simplicity compared to Karen. Even though Karen is simplistic too, but I do like, for some reason, I do like 2d6, just the rolling of 2d6 compared to d20s. For some reason, that's just how I am. And there's times where I prefer these modifiers compared to rolling within a range. And for this one, I did change the Oracle up to maintain the 2d6 theme. I rolled my old Oracle, which was basically 1d6 blue against 1d6 red. Red was no, blue was yes. And then if there was an advantage or likelihood modifier, I would put in an extra yes or no dice, and either some or highest advantage roll. So that's what I was using for the Oracle, and that's why you guys didn't really see much. You didn't hear me say much on percentile or like percentage chances of percentage, like 50% chance, etc. So yeah, there you go. Obviously, next episode we'll reveal who is this strange hooded figure that entered the door. It's obviously not going to be the the old man who's researching the spear. Most likely it's not, but I have an idea for who it is, and I'm sure you guys can probably think of who it is too. But that's it for the episode. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on 8:30 RPG.